This is Mark Whitten.
This is Adam MacArthur.
This is Ann Yatko.
This is Molly Chung.
Hey, everybody, this is Michael Yurchak.
This is Daquan Wilshire.
This is Lexi Nieto.
This is Rico Fajardo, and you're watching.
And you're listening to Spoiler Force Podcast. Set your heart ablaze.
All right, so this is episode 177 of Spoiler Force Podcast. My name is Ricky, and thank you for tuning in. So this is going to be a short and sweet episode, only because it's been a while. I have to call back, and I have to call back and remember what I did during this weekend for Dallas Fan Festival of 2023 this year. I believe it was sometime in October. I'm just going to pull up my Instagram real quick here just to verify dates because I don't want to have the dates wrong. I went 2 out of the 3 days. I actually cosplayed too, which was it was October 21st and 22nd, I believe. Yeah. So if you follow the Instagram or follow Facebook, you'll see pictures or stories of what I did that weekend. You can probably see it in the highlights on Instagram, on the story highlights. But yeah, I cosplayed as Carmi from The Bear. If you've not watched that show, please do. It's freaking amazing. Julian from What's in My Head podcast and I did a review on that for episode 175. Hopefully that's out. You're gonna be hearing that a lot as well on these episodes, or at least from episodes 177, which is this one, to like episode 180. Because of this weird time loop that I'm in right now, because these episodes are recorded on different dates but being released at different times too, so it's all over the place right now. But yeah, hopefully these episodes are up and ready on the internet by the time this one drops. I'm working really hard right now, just focusing on Muay Thai and also doing the Anime Frontier stuff, and then also editing and uploading the previous episodes from I want to say I recorded since from July to September, and just a bunch of backlog recordings, and just having to hurry up and try to edit them without making them look too terrible. But back to Dallas Fan Festival, man. Thank you to Dana and the staff the press staff for allowing myself and my cousin Bobby and his girlfriend Lind to come back on to the press scene for Dallas Fan Festival. Again, we only went 2 out of 3 days. Friday I was working, so I couldn't go on Friday evening, but Saturday was a blast. Cosplaying. We walked around the floor. We went early just to get good parking and to just check out the exhibitor room and artist alley and all that stuff there. And they bought a bunch of great stuff. I believe Bobby bought some Ninja Turtle prints. He actually hung one in the kitchen. It's from the movie, the old TMNT movie, and they're talking about pizza. And then they bought a bunch of other prints, and Bobby actually won some drawing there. He got a D&D chest with dices, and then I also bought some figures, and I wouldn't say figures, but I don't know if I have it here with me. I believe I do. Hold on. Oh, perfect. Great. I'll show you. I'll give you guys an example of what I bought. If you are watching this on YouTube, you'll get to see it. If not on the audio platform, I bought some. I got a free sticker too. I got a free Pokemon sticker, and then I also got Croc pins. Here, I got some Charlie and Woodstock, and then at the time I finished rewatching Squid Game, so I got this. I got the charms for Squid Game, and then I bought some of the exclusive pins that they had at Dallas Fan Festival, DC pins, and then yeah, if you can check it out, some pretty cool pins here: Batman, Harley Quinn, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Superman pins. Honestly, these are pretty cool to have. I like them in the box as is already. I don't really want to put them on my guitar case. That's why. And what's funny is I never really bought pins until I went to San Diego Comic-Con, and just going there and collecting pins and seeing our friends go and buy exclusives. So we got exclusive pins or exclusive shirts. Well, speaking of shirts, I got a Chainsaw Man shirt too from Dallas Fan Festival. But back to San Diego Comic-Con, we were buying exclusive stuff, and then I started getting hooked on pins. I didn't realize how expensive they were. They're pretty much either just as much or a little bit more expensive than prints. So you pick your poison on what you want to get. Me, I'm a big art fan, so I love both prints and stickers, and I love prints, pins, stickers. Oh my god, can't even say it right. And bookmarks and all that stuff. So it was really hard to decide on what to get. But it's cool. It's cool to see that there's a bunch of artists out there nowadays who are having a wider variety of options for people to buy product or buy inventory or merch. Why am I saying like it's a job? Like to buy more merch for themselves to collect. And again, it's really awesome to see that. I love seeing artists that I don't know show up there and have some cool prints and stuff like that. So again, shout out to Dallas Fan Festival for hosting the amazing event at, I believe it was the Irving Convention Center. I actually like this one a lot more than their spring one. If you went back and listened to the Fan Expo Dallas episode, um, I did have some minor complaints. It wasn't like, again, that overall event was great. It was just so hectic, and compared to Fan Festival, man, I love Fan Festival just because of how much smaller it is. It's closer to where I live, and that too. But then like it's just more smaller. It's not as crazy, not as many people go. I know that people like, they most people who go to conventions tend to assume that the conventions are based on the quality of guests that they bring in. This one, they brought some pretty good people, even though some of them were there for only like one day. I know the actor for Vision was there on Saturday. I got to meet Andy Serkis, who plays Smeagol. I got the photo op with him on Saturday, and I got the autograph from him on Sunday. Got the autograph from my mom, and it was really cool to meet him, man. Like he was very nice, and to talk to him briefly, very briefly, about like his acting career, and um about how he did like the I don't know if animatronic is the right word. I don't think that's it. But like how he was able to do like the mocap for Smeagol and Caesar from Planet of the Apes. It was really cool just to briefly talk to him about that. Um I did have to miss out on the panels though, unfortunately. I had other things planned on that weekend. But like I said though, even though this is a small, quick weekend, this this convention, this event here in Dallas, or technically Irving, um, is one of my favorites I've been to, and probably one of the best ones. It's just way more organized. It's way more. Um, it's just not so crowded. I guess that's the best way to put it. It's not so crowded. Fan Expo Dallas was very, very crowded. This one, I didn't have to wait as long to get my photo op and get autographs. And, there was tons of great artists to meet, and tons of great people to meet too. Like if you can catch on to what booths have who, then you can meet like some amazing people. Like I met I believe he's the animator, but I met oh, he's the writer. I met Alan Burnett, the writer for the Batman the animated series. He was at I want to say he was collaborating with booth, or he was at some exhibitor booth, or vendor booth, and I just walked past him. I was like, hey, I saw the Batman the animated series print, and I was like, hey, did you work on this show? He's like, yeah, I'm the writer. And so I was like, oh crap, I got to talk to him about like how he got started, and how he got to write for some episodes, really write for episodes for that show, because I grew up on Batman the animated series, so like that was a fantastic conversation I had with him. I'm hoping, I don't know, I doubt I get to I doubt he'd come on the podcast with how busy he seems to be, but it was just really cool to be nostalgic in that part of like, I guess, how can I word this? It was great to be nostalgic about Batman the animated series, to talk to someone who's worked on that show. um and it's just amazing to see how like you can just run into people that you don't think would be there. Like I didn't even follow like the guest list. I just saw his booth, and I saw him at the booth. I was like, oh crap. So that was just an amazing moment. And yeah, Bobby and I, we just walked around pretty much, and within like a day's, honestly, you can get this convention and do your things that you want to do within a day, which is what I like about this convention too. You don't have to go the whole weekend. Um, but because I wanted to spend one day like adventuring out to like or walking around the show floor, and then have another day just to do like the autographs and stuff like that. That's why I spread them out within 2 days. But then, honestly, you can get everything done within a day if you have the time to. um yeah, like I said, this episode's gonna be very short and sweet. I'm already like what, less than 10 minutes in, and I've talked about exactly what I needed to talk about. There was nothing bad about this convention, man. Shout out to Dana. Thank you, Dana, for again giving us press passes and working with us on this. Hopefully next year I'll go again. But other than that, like I've been training hard in Muay Thai to like cut weight and stuff like that. But I also I think during that weekend I met or that week I met KP Muay Thai, Pet. I met him. I went to a seminar there, um, hosted by John Giro Muay Thai in Carrollton, Texas. Shout out to those guys. I went to that. I went to that seminar, and it was a clinch seminar of all things. And it was just funny because like I've gone to John Giro just to do drop-in classes, and the first time I went, I missed out on the intermediate or the regular adult class. So because I got there late for my first time just dropping in, I was like, hey, can I just try out these the advanced class? Because I'm already here and I already paid, so why not? And then I got my ass handed to me in the advanced class. Um, and it was a clinch day that day. And then ironically coming to the seminar in at John Jira again, hosted by KP Muay Thai, like it was just another clinch work. And I was like, damn, I think this is like the Lord sending me a sign or something to work on my clinch game in Muay Thai. So that was cool to learn some techniques from him. And funny thing is, like when I was getting to talk to him and get to know him, he was like, hey, are you like, what kind of Asian are you? Are you like are you Korean or Japanese? I'm just like, no, no, I'm not. I'm Hmong, and in my head, I'm like, this is the first time I've ever been called like Japanese or Korean, and it was just, I guess not. It was awkward to be mistaken as that because usually I always get like Filipino or even like some sort of Hispanic or Latin American, and you know, or even Laos. Like I never really get guessed like East Asian. So it was really funny that he questioned that, and then like I went to watch some like old Japanese like Common Rider or like Ultraman, and then I saw it and I was just like, yeah, I can see why he can mistaken me as a Japanese person, but like that would be back in like the 70s and 80s, not how it's like now. So that was pretty funny just to have that experience and getting to know him as well. um yeah, and then cosplaying was super easy as Carmi. If you watch The Bear, um, it's pretty much just a blue apron, a white t-shirt, and like black pants. And so it was uh and it's just walking around as like a chef. I had like the soup cup too that they drink out of it in the show. I don't think people really got that I was dressed up as Carmi unless like you saw the post on Instagram or Facebook. But then like I don't know, man. Like I feel like that show doesn't get enough love, and you'll if you're watching or listening to the podcast, that episode should be up, like I said, already before this one. So you'll get to hear me and Julian like fan out about how great the bear is. Um, what else did I do that weekend? I mean, aside from like just going to that convention, like I said, there wasn't really much to do. Um, within that whole weekend. Like I said, you can go there for one day and experience a lot. You don't need to go all 3 days, but you should check it out though, because like the guests that they pull were pretty good. I just didn't really want to meet any of the other guys besides Andy Circus because I had like if you look at my wall back here, right here, right next to the spoiler force banner, it's the I have my 4 pictures of each Hobbit from Lord of the Rings there. Um, I don't know where I'm going to put the Andy Circus print. I have it printed, I just haven't framed it. I might replace this one here, the one that's right under my Kobayashi print here. That's the one from last year that me, Bobby, and Lynn we met Matt Smith, and it was like right at the end of House of the Dragon when I believe season 1 ended, just around that time. Either that or it was like a mid-season finale, one of the two. Um, but we got to meet him, and I talked about this on the last fan festival experience episode, so you get to go listen to that and hear my thoughts on that. um, Man, I really don't want to end this on like on a 15-minute mark. So like, what else can I talk about? I haven't been really, as much as I'd like to do reviews on this show. I guess I can talk about this. As much as I like to do reviews on this show, I haven't been really doing any too crazy. Like I know I did like Demon Slayer, and then me and my cousin Michael, Art by Kooky, we did like a lightning round review where we had like 5 minutes, or I want to say 5 minutes to talk about each show that we've been watching quickly. I actually kind of like that idea. That way we can get like all these reviews out and just talk about focus points and stuff like that. Um, but if you guys like that idea, let me know in the comments, or just like email me, or comment on any like story or post that you see on Instagram and stuff like that. Um, yeah, but I do want to do more movies, more movie reviews. I know that there's a lot of movies that came out, like Godzilla minus one, and then there's also like Past Lives, which is done by A24. Like that one, honestly, that one was like that movie like took me by surprise. I have it on my list to talk about Past Lives. I don't know if I want to have a guest on or not, but it it's like really not, it's not sad, but it's very sappy. And definitely I definitely want to talk about Godzilla too. Probably have that. I should have that on my list. And the Iron Claw. I do want to talk about Iron Claw as well. I have not seen the Heron and the Boy yet either. There's a lot of movies that came out during like the end of the year type of deal where I just haven't had time to watch or see. Um, and again, like I do want to focus more on reviews instead of just like trying to book guests and have guests on. And I don't know. I mean, maybe that could be something I can do for 2024, is like do more, whether it's anime or movie, or even hell comic book reviews, even though I haven't really been reading comic books since like a year and a half ago, maybe more. um, but I do want to focus that on that more. And I don't know. I feel like going back to my roots for Spoiler Force probably would make me feel a little bit better, and not so like not so anxious, or um like waiting for someone to be on the show. I can just like hit record and just start talking. I mean, because I can do this. I don't know if you guys like to see the visual or not when I talk about this stuff, because it does take time to like edit and all that. If you guys just want strictly audio, I can just like black up the screen, or put like the spoiler force thumbnail on the video format, so you can hear me just banter about stuff that I like to talk about. Oh my god, my hair is like crazy right now. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much else to really talk about. This is a very short and sweet episode. I haven't done any short episodes in a long time. Like I remember like back in the beginning of Spoiler Force, like talking about stuff for 20 minutes was already a hard thing to do. And then when I hit like the hour mark, I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. I had all this content to talk about. But sometimes short and sweet is better than nothing at all. And there's been episodes where I've had like where I spoke to a guest for 20 minutes or so, kind of like have to get over the idea that like I have to have someone on for more than 30 minutes. Um, but now that I'm getting more experience, in short and condensed seems to be the better route. Plus, people like shorts nowadays too. Um, but yeah, I think that's pretty much how I should end this episode. I don't have much to talk about. Like I said, Dallas Fan Festival was a short, fun weekend. Definitely go if you have not. It's in Irving, Texas. Again, thank you to Dana for letting me get press passes for that weekend. If you can't make it to Dallas Fan Festival, try your best to get to Fan Expo Dallas, which is the bigger one. But I highly recommend that you just wait till the fall, go to Fan Festival. It's a smaller building, but I enjoy it much more than Fan Expo. Um, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it, man. This is like around the 20-minute mark, so I think this is good. Next, the next few episodes after this one should be my Anime Frontier experience episode, which I'll have Michael, or Art by Kooky, on the show. He went with me for that weekend for press, and we have a lot more to talk about on that episode, just because it was a whole different press experience. And then after that should be episode 180. Oh no, not episode 180, 179, which is with Kellen Goff, which I recorded with him before this episode too. So that'll be a fun one. And then episode 180, which will be the 2023 wrap up episode. I'm gonna try to get these recorded all before the end of the year, and then like hopefully by February the latest, episodes 170 to 180 should be all up on YouTube and podcasting platforms. Again, if you didn't catch the post and stuff like that, I repeat this as well in the Kellen Goff episode too, and I'll probably repeat it in episode 178. But Spoiler Force is no longer on SoundCloud, and I'm not using the Twitch account anymore. I mean, it's still up. I'm not going to be active on it since I don't really stream, and SoundCloud. I don't think anyone really uses SoundCloud anymore unless you're like a musician. So I'm canceling. I'm removing content from that page. And so you can still find Spoiler Force content on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, like the other major podcasting platforms. But usually it's Spotify and Apple Podcasts that are the two big ones. Unless you listen to like some other small podcasting platform like Podbean or something. I should be on that too. Or like iHeartRadio or Pandora if you guys still use those apps. So yeah. And then yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Spoiler Force. Just keep an eye out on these next few episodes for sure. After 2024, again, I'm planning to do more reviews, if anything, and then yeah, episode 200 will be, or at least it could be, the end of Spoiler Force. So if you haven't seen the post, read that and you'll catch up to date with what I'm planning. But yeah, episode 200 should be the last episode for now unless something changes. But just thank you guys for tuning in and listening to me ramble all these years, or at least for these past 4.5 years. I can't believe the 5-year mark is coming up too in May 2nd of 2024. That'll be the 5-year mark. But I don't know. I really don't know what I'm gonna be planning after episode 200 ends. But I'll probably talk more about this once I get like towards episode 200. But yeah, go check out the other episodes. Go check out the Anime Frontier press interviews if you haven't. Those should be up way before the other episodes are. And at the time of this recording, I'm actually working on it now. But then by the time this drops, all that stuff should be up, on YouTube. And I don't think I'll be putting up those press interviews on YouTube. But then not YouTube. I don't think I'll be putting those press interviews on podcasting platforms, but they'll be on YouTube. So you go check out the YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was the fan festival experience, Dallas Fan Festival experience. Yeah, thank you guys so much and have a great day. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to give a review and rate Spoiler Force Podcast. If you want to get all Spoiler Force updates or even peeks at behind the scenes, you can join the Spoiler Force Discord community. And if you'd like to show support, give tips, recommendations, sponsorships, or any collaborations, you can email me at rickyvang92@gmail.com.